Rajeshri Venkatramanan. I have been reading English shorthand dictations, 80 words, 100 words, 120 words for the past 12 years. I have already uploaded 80 words and 100 words in 100 numbers in YouTube last year from August onwards. Today, I am going to read 80 words English shorthand. 2 of my students are ready to write English shorthand.
Hi, I am Bhuvana from Kannur.
You have invited me here on an auspicious day for this opening ceremony. I have come here gladly for a variety of reasons. Perhaps some people might wonder what is the connection between Gandhiji and this great factory, for he was apparently not fond of great factories. He thought much more of the village and the home. And yet, I feel that this idea is due to a basis misapprehension. I am quite sure that if it had been our good fortune to have Gandhiji with us today, he would have been gladly at the opening of this factory. This factory, like all factories, does not come in the way of his basic desire to develop the village industries and generally raise the standard of what was rural and urban population. Some people take rather a narrow view of Gandhiji. None of us, perhaps, is fully capable of understanding all the aspects of his character. We cling to one or two aspects, not realizing that we do not see the whole of that remarkable personality. Many, I suppose, took the letter of what he said and paid little attention to the spirit, to the underlying philosophy for which he stood. You will remember that often he let us have some glimpses into his mind which would show that mind was deep and wide and looked not only at the millions of our people but at all of humanity. Functioning at a particular moment in India as a leader of a great struggle against a mighty empire, he brought methods and tools into play which were particularly suited for that struggle as well as for the constructive activity of the nation. He laid stress on village industries and even those who were critical of him and who were doubtful of about village industries and the like today stand approaches. There can be no real well-being or advance in material standards in India without the big factory.
Good morning. My name is Rekha. I am from Trivandrum.
You have invited me here on an auspicious day for this opening ceremony. I have come here gladly for a variety of reasons. Perhaps some people might wonder what is the connection between Gandhiji and this great factory, for he was apparently not fond of great factories. He thought much more of the village and the home. And yet, I feel that this idea is due to a basis misapprehension. I am quite sure that if it had been our good fortune to have Gandhiji with us today, he would have been gladly at the opening of this factory. This factory, like all factories, does not come in the way of his basic desire to develop the village industries and generally raise the standard of war, vast rural and urban population. Some people take rather a narrow view of Gandhiji. None of us, perhaps, is fully capable of understanding all the aspects of his character. We cling to one or two aspects, not realizing that we do not see the whole of that remarkable personality. Many, I suppose, took the letter of what he said and paid little attention to the spirit, to the underlying philosophy for which he stood. You will remember that often he let us have some glimpses into his mind which would show that mind was deep and wide and looked not only at the millions of our people but at the whole of humanity. Functioning at a particular moment in India as a leader of a great struggle against a mighty empire, he brought methods and tools into play which were particularly suited for that struggle as well as for the constructive activity of the nation. He laid stress on village industries and even those who were critical of him and who were doubtful of about village industries and the like, today stand for village industries and the development of rural areas. Others have arrived only gradually at the conclusion he arrived at voluntarily. There is no conflict between that conclusion and this factory or other big factories that we might build because we try to coordinate the two approaches. There can be no real well-being or advance in material standards in India without the big factory. I shall venture to say that we cannot even maintain our freedom and independence as a nation without the big factory and all that it represents. Nor in my opinion, can there be well-being and large-scale employment in India, at least for a very considerable period to come, without widespread groups of village industries. We cannot keep pace with the modern world unless we adopt the latest techniques, whether it is for the big factory or the small or for village industry. We cannot keep pace with the modern world unless we utilize the sources of power that are available to the modern world. Today, we stand on the threshold of the atomic age. Enormous new resources of power have been placed at the disposal of man. Whether he uses them for good or ill, only the future will show. What we do know is that the power is there and we cannot ignore it. We shall have to use this new source of atomic energy when the time comes. At the same time, everything has ultimately to be judged in terms of human welfare, and only real yardstick we can employ is the happiness of our 360 million people. Therefore, I see nothing wrong in my coming here on Gandhi's birthday